Yo, what's going on, homies? It's your boy Stumped back for another OPTC video, and in today's video, we're diving back into the Super Boss with the over 1 trillion damage teams. And in today's video, we're gonna have a chat about Super Boss and how stupid it is that they've capped us at 1 trillion damage, because these two teams that you guys will see, as well as a little short at the end of the video, do well over 1 trillion damage. And with the update to Super Boss and 10-star Kizuna, the HP threshold of the Super Bosses now exceeds 1 trillion damage. On top of that, they have capped us at the 1 trillion damage mark, which makes absolutely no sense in my opinion. I can understand why they did it for like the 10-star and the 3-star, to stop people trying to farm those and funnel it on Super Boss. But the fact that now Super Boss is climbing upwards of 10 trillion, 20 trillion, 50 trillion HP, and then you have units that can literally hit 1.7 trillion with one final tap like Yamato can in this particular clip. It just makes absolutely zero sense to me that they would cap the damage and then increase the HP. Like, it's mind-bogglingly stupid in my opinion. It might have something to do with the coding, it might have something to do with the prefix of the game, but that's out of my control. But I'm just trying to express my frustration, because this team that you see right here, I put together day one. We've been using it since day one. It hits 1 trillion damage very, very easily. You don't even need max final taps. You don't need max super tandems. You need decent levels, but they don't need to be maxed to see this kind of damage. As you guys saw on turn 2, Carrot and Nami just literally take care of that stage. They don't have any issues whatsoever there. The only downside is that they don't carry their chain boundary into the final stage. That would make it perfect, because Moria has an interrupt for that if you do use it on the final stage. Moria's damage reduction and threshold, which is taken care of by Yamato and Zoro Sanji. And then there's an intimidation for 1 turn on orb buffs, but that's where Cross Guild comes into play. Cross Guild can give you 2 turns of an orb buff, and with Ace as captain, they actually extend it to 3 turns, which is really, really nice. With Zoro Sanji, you have all the chain shenanigans you guys need. You have a super tandem. Cross Guild gives you set target, which is a free 2 times damage, as well as the orb buff. Unfortunately, we can't get the chain boundary off, but you guys will see a clip at the end that does allow you to get this chain boundary off to just give a little bit more damage under Yamato. Yamato is going to give increased damage taken, color affinity. Ace will increase the color affinity. He gives you a conditional buff on top of increasing the color affinity as mentioned. And then Luffy down the bottom there, he's going to give us base stats. He's going to increase the orb effect boost, as well as have the Beppo support, so that way we can get access to a Covenant tandem orb, so we can use the Zoro Sanji Super Tandem. With this team, I believe Yamato hits around 1.7 to 1.8 trillion damage just herself. Like, the rest of the team is still doing damage though. Like, Ace is hitting fairly hard there. He hits something like 320 million or I don't know what numbers look like in that regard. But as you guys will see here, you'll see the Covenant 1.7 trillion damage, but then obviously with that very, very annoying new mechanic, it does get reduced to around 1 trillion. So unfortunately, it is what it is right now. Hopefully they find a way to mitigate this and allow us to just see that 1.7 trillion on top of all the rest of the damage, because this team should be well over 2 trillion damage. And look, 2-turn bursts aren't really a thing. I've been trying to put something together for this fight to try and exceed that, but like, it shouldn't matter. Like, it's all about how much damage we can do in 1 turn. Like, just let us see those big 3 trillion numbers. Like, yeah, it is what it is. But at the same time, look, that's the team. I have sent this around. I did shorts on this team. I have spoken to people that have like level 4 Yamatos and level 3 Zoro Sanjis, or vice versa, level 4 Yamato, level 3 Zoro Sanjis, that can still get this kind of damage output. Obviously, using a friend Captain Ace's level 5 Rush is going to help out drastically as well. As for the Verse Int team, I want to give a huge, massive shout out to my boy Porky over in the Alliance. Whenever Super Boss comes around, I'm always hitting him up. He's a fantastic big damage dealing team builder. Like, there's no one better than Porky when it comes to big damage, man. His brain works differently. So this particular team utilizes Toki to bypass the action bind mechanic on the bottom row. This particular Super Boss is super annoying because of the action bind that gets inflicted on that bottom row. So you either need to use the specials on turn 2 or bring the new Brook. And look, lots of people don't have the new Brook, understandably so. And even if you do bring the new Brook, you kind of mitigate a lot of your damage, because you're just bringing 1 unit to just solely get around one particular mechanic, which is kind of stupid. So using Toki is actually way better. Now on turn 2, there's Hunger, Bind, and Special Bind. And this is where a couple of key supports come into play. Marco and Vista actually give 2 turns of Special Bind removal to the entire crew, not just the supported character, even though it does say that in game. Goes on Ace, 2 turns is covered. Momo, being part of the Super Tandem of Zoro Sanji, is amazing as well. So they get around 2 turns. And then we have the support Rare Recruit Sabo to finish off the rest. Shanks basically takes care of the rest of those debuffs there. But as you guys will notice, we did have the Roger support on Zoro Sanji. That gives Zoro Sanji a tandem orb at the start. Make sure you keep that, because you will need the Super Tandem to kill turn 2. Without the Super Tandem, you can't kill turn 2. There's too much HP. So make sure you keep that tandem orb there. It is going to help you out a goddamn great deal. But on the final stage against Moria, also forgot to mention, make sure you use the Toki special on turn 2 as well. Utilizing Toki on your friend captain and your bottom right unit allows you to utilize their special in the bottom right and give Shanks the 3.5 times attack and orb boost that they need, because Shanks is the one that's doing all the damage on this particular team. With the EX of Shanks, you can remove the intimidation. That way you still get the 4 times color affinity that Shanks can provide. Works very, very nicely. He also increases the attack boost, which is great. Once you've done that, you can use Cross Guild. Cross Guild are going to apply set target, which is 2 times damage. The Alvida support gives them 1 turn of cooldown. You do need to make sure that this character is Limit Break expanded for this team to work. If you don't have the Limit Break expanded, don't stress. You can swap out the Int Luffy for Luffy Yamato, and that extra 2 turns of cooldown is what will get you across the line, which works out very, very nicely. But having Alvida there is essential. You do need that Alvida support for the 1 turn of cooldown, because if you do that, you can then utilize Luffy Yamato to get 2 more turns. However, with Limit Break expansion, Ace gives you that extra turn. Ace gives you a conditional. He increases the color affinity. Then you're going to get the Cross Guild back. The EX of Cross Guild is going to give them their 3rd special. That's going to give you all your chain boundary stuff. And then you can utilize Luffy to increase the orbs and give you base stats, which works very, very nicely. Finally, you can super swap with Zoro Sanji. That's where you get your tandem mobs from. You're going to use the special to get all the chain shenanigans. And unfortunately, we don't have the super class, but that's okay, because as mentioned, Shanks is the one that's doing all the damage. He has a super type and a double super class, so that's really where it all comes from. So shout out to Porky with this one. I do know a couple other people thought of the Toki strat. Forest reached out to me as well. So very, very good team building and very, very good thinking, especially with having Momo as part of the Zoro Sanji Super Tandem, because that actually helps out so damn much. So much fun stuff there. But that's the team. Again, this team would hit well over 1 trillion damage. I believe Shanks also hits for around 1.7 trillion damage. Something like that, maybe it's like 1.56. Normally it's about 1.56 if you skip the action specials, but if you do it all right, you get like 1.6 to 1.7 depending on the Shanks. The burn is going to take care of resilience, so don't stress if you're on the earlier stages, but later down the line, obviously, like, that's not going to, like, that's just going to be like a little bit of chip damage. As you guys will see too, this team actually does have access to a 2-turn burst, but unfortunately, we don't really have an attack boost, we don't really have an orb boost, so Shanks really isn't doing that much damage on the next turn. We don't have the chain shenanigans either, because we've basically used everything on turn 1. So, look, it's another, like, cheeky little tiny bit of damage, but at the end of the day, the team does work very, very nicely. And again, we've been using it since day 1, and it's been absolutely tearing shreds through our super bosses. So, there were the 2 teams that I did put out in shorts. Porky did cook up something else, though, and I do want to show a small clip of it at the end here. So, Porky put together this particular team versus the quick variation of the super boss. This particular team does monstrous amounts of damage. I believe he has a clip of the friend captain Yamato hitting for 3.4 trillion damage. In this video, the short at the end here, you'll see Yamato hit for about 2.7. I did hit a great. HP obviously comes into play. Limit Break expanding characters and having HP buffs and all that sort of stuff is going to help out. But the way this team actually works is we are removing the special one with supports and the ship of the Dolph Grudge, or whatever it's called. You do need level 12 if you want to try this ship, but at the end of the day, because of that stupid debuff, you can't really hit that 3.4 trillion damage anyway, so I thought I would showcase this just because it's cool to see big numbers. So here we are on the final stage, and as you guys will see, we actually used the Momo special on turn 2, and the super swap with Zoro Sanji to get around the block orbs. Once we've done that, we can basically start using all our specials, very similar to the first clip you guys saw, where we remove the damage reduction with Yamato, we can get this double special activation, increase damage taken. Ace is going to be our conditional booster. We have orbs with Cross Guild, set target. With cross guild as well, now you can actually use their second special because we have a chain boundary already, so we're not going to trigger the interrupt. This is just going to give you more resistance. It's just going to give you a bit more into the Yamato final tap that allows her to just do like a butt ton extra damage, really. Besides that, like, Luffy's still giving base stats. He's still delaying. Ace is still being your conditional booster. Ace is still being your attack booster as well, which is really, really good. And you need to make sure that you use Zoro Sanji first to turn everyone into Free Spirit Slashes before you use the EX of Ace. So that way you don't get everyone shooters. But this particular clip I really wanted to showcase because this is a true testament to why the damage cap is the dumbest thing they've ever done. I don't understand why this is implemented. Why is this implemented in a game mode that is built up around doing as much damage as you possibly can? It's fucking ridiculous. Please, if you can, Bandai, some way, please fix this. Like, please, for the love of God, just fix this one thing. This would make Super Boss a lot more fun. And Super Boss, unfortunately, has become like one of the worst game modes. Like 10-star Kazuna is definitely the worst, but Super Boss is not that far behind because no one gives a fuck about the game mode anymore. Everyone's like, what's the point? I just hit 1 trillion damage. We get to a point where the Super Bosses are just getting way too much HP. I'm not going to waste my resources. I'm going to save them for the next one. So, look, if you want to make the game mode more about the Super Boss, keep the whole scaling of the HP, but don't cap us at 1 trillion damage, especially when you give us these 10th anniversary legends that do fuckloads of damage. They do so much damage, and then just go, oh, but hang on, sorry, you can't actually do more than 1 trillion because we're going to scale it by like 0.1 times. It's just fucking stupid. So stupid. So, shout out to Porky for this one, man. Like I said, he's just got a different brain when it comes to big damage teams. He's an absolute demon, absolute weapon, whatever you're going to call him. Let me know in the comment section. I want to see hashtag Porky the GOAT. Because this team, like I said, for me, I only hit, what, 2.7 trillion? I say only, but I believe he hit like 3.4. I know he has his Aceland Break expanded to 150, so there's more HP and stuff there. Yeah, 2.8 trillion that gets reduced to 1.02. Like, how does that make any fucking sense? Bro, oh, it makes me so angry. You guys all know that, like, Super Boss is my favorite game mode. It's not anymore like PvP is, but once upon a time, like, this is why I played the game. And it's just, it hurts to see that this is where we are with it. But let me know your thoughts and opinions in the comment section below. While you're down there, belt the like button, hit the subscribe button, do all that good stuff. Most importantly, wherever you guys are in this beautiful world, please remember to enjoy the rest of your day. As always, homies, thank you for watching, and I'll catch you all in the next one. Let's